True. Yeah! His foundation is in the whole of mountains. Jah loveth the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things have been spoken of the O city of God. I'll make mention to Rahab and Babylon, to them that know I. With the old Philistine Tyre, with Ethiopia, it shall be said that this man was born there. And the highest himself shall establish the earth. Jah Rastafari. Rastaman vibration, yeah, positive. I and I vibration, yeah, positive. I am an iration, yeah, positive vibration, yeah, positive. If you get down and you quarrel every day, we are saying prayers to a devil, I say. Why not help one another on the way? Basic magie.
Just a little bit easier.
Say we just could not live in a negative way. So we make way for the positive day. 'Cause it's a new day, new time, and it's a new feeling, a new sign. What a new day. Picking up. Are you picking up now? Picking up. Are you picking up now? Oh, Jah love protects us. Oh, Jah love protects us. Oh, Jah love protect us. Yeah. Rastaman vibration, yeah.
Positive.
Live if you wanna live. I and I vibration, yeah.
Positive.
Got to have a good vibe. I am an iration, yeah.
I react.
Yeah. Positive vibration, yeah.
Positive. Just a little bit easier.
it's a music days,
New time,
and it's a
new feeling,
said it's a
new
Zion. What's a new day? Picking up. Are you picking up?
now.
Picking up. Are you picking up now? Oh, shall love, I shall love, protect us. I shall love, I shall love, protect us. I shall love, I shall love, protect us. Wake up and live. Wake up and live. Wake up and live your. Get up and wake up and live. Me say life is one big road with lots of signs. So when you're riding through the ruts, don't complicate your mind. Flee from hate, mischief and jealousy. Don't bury your thought, put your vision to reality, yeah. Together now, wake up and live. Wake up and live. Wake up and wake up and live, yeah. Wake up and live. Wake up and live. Oh, rise. The mighty people, yeah. There's work to be done, so let's do it little by little. Oh, rise, now rise, can you hear me? Rise right from your sleepless slumber, sleepless slumber. We're more than sand and the seashore. We're more than number, more than 1, 2, 3, 4. Wake up and live your life. Wake up and live. Just live. Wake up and live your life. Wake up and live. Where they used to live big today, tomorrow you're buried in a casket. One cocoa, full of basket. Where they used to live big today, tomorrow you're buried in a casket. Together now, wake up and live. Wake up and live. Wake up and wake up and live, yeah. Wake up and live now. Wake up and live. 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 They say they want to bring I in guilty for the life of a deputy. For the life of a deputy now. But I say, yes, I shot the sheriff. In self-defense, yeah. It was I who will drop out. And I mean it. One day the bottom will drop out. And so, read it in the news. See them fighting for power. But they know not the hour. So they be bribing with their guns, spare parts and money, trying to belittle our integrity now. They say what we know is just what they teach us. And we're so ignorant, 'cause every time they can reach us through political strategy, they keep us hungry. And when you're gonna get some food, your brother got to be your enemy. Well, ambushed in the night, all guns they aiming at me. Ambushed in the night, they open fire on me. Ambushed in the night, protected by His Majesty. Who will see them fighting for power? But they know not the hour. So they be bribing with their guns, spare parts and money, trying to belittle our integrity now. Well, what we know now is not what they tell us, and we're not ignorant, so they just cannot touch us. Through the powers of the Most High, we keep on surfacing. Through the powers of the Most High, we keep on surviving in this ambush in the night. Land by society, ambush in the night. They trying to conquer me in this ambush in the night. All I know, we've got to be free in this ambush in the night. Anything money could bring in this ambush in the night. but you can't run away from yourself. 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 You must have done something wrong. Said you must have done something wrong. Why you can't find a place where you belong? Well, 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 while you're running away. You're running away. Running away. Running away. Running away. Every man think that his burden is the heaviest. Every man think that his burden is the heaviest. But I still live. Who feels it knows it. Who feels it knows it. Who feels it knows it. Who's the feels it knows it. You're running and you're running and you're running away. Running and you're running and you're running away. Running and you're running and you're running away. You're running and you're running, but you can't run away from yourself. No, you can't. You just couldn't do that. No matter how hard you try. Oh, early this morning as I came up to stay, had something on my mind to say. Everyone was talking how everything is getting on. Say they need some solution to carry on. Them crazy, we gonna chase those crazy ballets out of town. Chase those crazy ballets out of town, yeah. I and I build a cabin, and I plant the corn. Say, they took my people before me, slave for this country. Now you look me with your scorn. Then you eat up all my corn. We're gonna chase those crazy. Chase those crazy. Chase those crazy boys that chase those crazy. Lord, Lord, chase those crazy boys out of town. Right out, right out, right out, right out. Build your penitentiary. We build your schools. It's a brainwash education. It's trying to make us your fools. Hey, hate rich, they reward for our love. He yelling at us off, you God above. We're gonna chase those crazy. Chase those crazy. Chase those crazy ballets. coming with this gun plan. We won't take no bribe. We've got to stay alive. We're gonna, Lord, it's just easiest. Yes, those crazy. Lord, chase those crazy. Come on down with me. Chase those crazy. Oh, let's right on up, right on up, right on up, right on up, yeah. Hungry mob is a hungry mob. A rain or fall, but the dirty tough. A pot a cook, but the food not enough. You're going to dance to jam music, dance. You're gonna dance to jam music, dance. Forget your sorrows and dance. Forget your troubles and dance. Forget your sickness and dance, and dance, and dance. Forget your weakness and dance. Cost of living gets so high, the rich and the poor, they start to cry. But now the weak must get strong, they're singing, oh, what a tribulation. And the belly full, but we hungry. A hungry mob is a hungry mob. A rain or fall, but the dirty tough. A pot a cook, but the food not enough. You're going to chuck to jam music. We're chucking. Oh, we chucking to jam music. Where, yeah. The belly full, but we hungry. A hungry mob is a hungry mob. A rain or fall, but the dirty tough. A pot a cook, but the food enough. Rain or fall, pot a cook, food enough. Rain or fall, pot a cook, food enough. the stance again. He who fights and run away, live to fight another day. At the heathen that day, Tata put the heathen that day. At the heathen that day, on the wall at the heathen that day. As a man so shall he reap, and I know that talk is cheap. But the hotter the battle, come a sweeter to victory. How do you heathen that day? On the wall at the heathen that day. How do you heathen that day? On the wall at the heathen that day. On the wall. Rise, oh, rise, oh, rise, oh, rise, oh. Rise and take the stance again. Is he who fight and run away, live to fight another day. At the heathen that day, on the wall at the heathen that day, on the wall at the heathen that day, on the wall at the heathen that day, on the wall. A job to do, and he's got to fulfill that mission. To see his hurt will be their greatest ambition. But we will survive in this world of competition, 'cause no matter what they do, they keep on coming through. And no matter what they say, Dready did it every day. Natty Dread rides again through the mystics of tomorrow. Natty Dread rides again. Have no fear, have no sorrow. All in all you see, I want is to fight against the Rasta man. So was illusion, but the stone the builder refused shall be the head cornerstone. And no matter what game they play, we've got something they can never take away. Something they can never take away. It's the fire, the fire that's burning down everything. Feel the fire, the fire. Only the birds have their wings. No time to be deceived. Yes, you should know and not believe. Just say this judgment would never be with water. No water can put out this fire, this fire, this fire, this fire. I young and you, so ride not to ride. Go there, dready, go there. Now the fire is out of control. Panic in the city, wicked weeping for their souls. Everywhere the fire is burning, destroying and melting their gold, destroying and wasting their souls. So ride, natty, ride. Go there, dready, go there. Now the people gather on the beach, and the leader tried to make a speech, but the dread again tell them that it's too late. Fire is burning, men, pull your own way. Fire is burning, men, pull your own way. Natty dread rise again. Oh, God, I dready, God, all right, natty, right. God, I dready, God, riding through the storm, and we're riding through the calm. All right, not the right. Got that ready, got it. We're moving right out of Babylon, and we're grooving to our father's land. How good and how pleasant it would be before God and man to see the unification of all Rasta man. As it's been said already, we are the children of the Rasta man. We are the children of the I am one. So Africa unite, Africa unite, yeah. Unite for the benefit of our people. 'Cause we're moving right out of Babylon, and we're grooving to our father's land. How good and how pleasant it would be before God and man to see the unification of all Africans. Marcus Garvey said it, so let it be done. I know you know who you are under the sun. We are the children of the Rasta man. We are the children of Africans unite. They say, Africans unite, yeah. Unite for the benefit of all people. Unite for it's later than they think. Unite for the benefit of your children. Unite for it's later than they think. Africa awaits its creators. Africa awaiting its creators. Africa, you are my forefather cornerstone. Unite for the Africans abroad. Unite for the Africans abroad. Africa, unite. Africa, unite. Feel it in the one drop, and we still find time to rob. We're making a one stop. The generation gap, so feel this drum beat as it beats within, playing a rhythm, resisting against the system, singing, I know Jah never let us down. Pull your rights from wrong. I know Jah never let us down. Oh no, oh no, oh no. They made their world so hard. Every day we got to keep on fighting. They made their world so hard. Every day the people are dying, dying. Dread for hunger and starvation. Lamentation. But read it in Revelation. You'd find your redemption. Come on. Give us the teachings of His Majesty. We no want no devil philosophy. And you hear? Give us the teachings of His Majesty. We no want no devil philosophy. We feel it in the one drop. Yeah, we still find time to rob. We're making a one stop, and we're filling the gap. So feel this drum beat as it beats with it, playing a rhythm, fighting against ism and schism, singing. I know Jah never let us down. I know Jah would never let us down. I know Jah would never let us down. They made their world so hard. Every day we got to keep on fighting. Every day they made their world so hard. Every day the people are dying. Dread, 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 dread on dread. I will frighten them. I will frighten them. Come on. Give us the teachings of His Majesty. So stick up. We no want no devil philosophy. Can you hear? Give us the teachings of His Majesty. We no want no ideology. if you're not wrong, where everything is alright. So we're gonna walk through the roads of creation. We the generation trod through great tribulation in this exodus. got so much things to say. Yes, they got so much things to say right now. Yeah, they got so much things to say. I'll never forget no way they crucified Jesus Christ. Yeah, yes. I'd never forget no way they sold Marcus Garvey for rice. I'd never forget no way they turned their backs on Paul Bogle. So don't you forget no youth who you are and where you stand in the struggle. They got so much things to say right now. Yes, they got so much things to say. They're singing everything. They got so much to say. So much things to say. So much things to say. But I and I not come to fight flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness in high and low places. So while they fight you down, stand firm and give Jah thanks and praises. Cause I and I not expect to be justified by the laws of men. You see, truth got to prove her innocence. Though the wicked think they found him guilty, they got so much. When the rain fall, it don't fall on one man's house. Tell you that day you but the weather, it won't fall on one man's house. So very much, so very much, the thing is so very much, so very much. So much things to say. Rumor about so much things to say. They got so much things to say right now. Lord, they got so much things to say. They got so much things to say. Say right now. They got so much things to say. Take me to the bridge, y'all. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. When the rain fall, it won't fall on one man's house. Lord, 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 Lord. When the rain falls, yes, it does. Don't fall on one man's house. So they got so very much to say. So very much. So much things to say right now. So much things to say. So much things to say. Rumor about they got the rumor without humor. They don't know what they're doing yet. Every man got the right to decide his own destiny. And in this judgment there is no partiality. So arm in arms with arms, we'll fight this little struggle, yes. Cause that's the only way we can overcome our little trouble. Brother, you're right. You're right, you're right, you're right, you're so right. We gon' fight, we gonna fight, we'll have to fight, fighting for rights. Mash it up in a Zimbabwe, set it up in a Zimbabwe. Africans are liberate Zimbabwe, I liberate Zimbabwe. No more internal trouble. You see, soon we'll find out who is the real revolutionaries. Yes, I don't want my people to be contrary. And brother, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're so right. We gonna fight, we gonna fight, we gonna fight, we gonna fight, we love to fight, we gonna fight, fighting for rights. Set it up in a Zimbabwe, not in mash it in a Zimbabwe. Go the dready, go the in a Zimbabwe. I and I liberate Zimbabwe. To divide and rule could only tear us apart. In every man chest, right here, there beats a heart. So soon we'll find out who is the real revolutionaries. I don't want my people to be tricked by mercenaries. Brother, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're so right. We gonna fight, we'll have to fight, we gonna fight, fighting for rights. Set it up in a Zimbabwe, put it in a Zimbabwe. I and I liberate Zimbabwe. Africans are liberate Zimbabwe. In a team mash it in Zimbabwe. The trash it in Zimbabwe. Jedi go there in Zimbabwe. Lord, 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 Lord. Zimbabwe. Ooh, yeah, we're jamming. I wanna jam it with you. We're jamming, so I hope you are jamming tonight. Ain't no rules, ain't no vow, you can jam it anyhow. I and I will see you through. Cause every day we pay the price, we're the living sacrifice. Jamming till the jam gets through. Ooh, yeah, we're jamming. To think of jamming was a thing of a past. We're jamming, and I hope this jam is gonna last. No bullet could stop us now, we need a bed, now we won't bow. Neither can be bought nor sold. We all defend the right, Jah children must unite. Life is worth much more than gold. Ooh, yeah, we're jamming. And we're jamming in the name of the Lord. We're jamming, and we're jamming right straight from yon. We're shaking Holy Mount Zion, Holy Mount wanna jam it with you. We're jamming, and I hope you like jamming too. Ain't no rules. I can never see you through. Every day. Jam it till the jam is through. I wanna jam it with you. I really wanna all over her boogaloo. I think I might join the fun, but I had to hit and run. See, I just can't settle down in a kinky part of town. Right on, don't you know I've got to ride on? Right on, see, I just can't settle down. Right on, cause I'm a leaving town. Kinky reggae, kinky reggae, kinky reggae, kinky reggae. Take it or leave it. Kinky reggae, kinky reggae, kinky reggae. Give it up. Kinky reggae. Would you ride on? Ride on. Ride on. Ride on a kinky reggae. Ride on. I went down to Piccadilly Circus. Down there I saw Marcus. He had a dandy door all over his chocolate bar. Yeah, I think I might join the fun, but I had to hit and run. See, I just can't settle down in a kinky, kinky part of town. Nice one, that's what they say. Nice one, but I'm leaving you today. Nice one, oh darling, please don't play. Nice one, mama say, kinky reggae, kinky reggae now. Kinky reggae, kinky reggae now. Kinky reggae, all I've got to say is kinky reggae now. Kinky reggae, kinky reggae now. Would you ride on? Ride on. Ride on. Ride on. Ride on. Stir it up, little darling, stir it up. Come on and stir it up, little darling, stir it up. It's been a long, long time since I've got you on my mind. And now you are here, I say, it's so clear to see what we could do, honey. Just me and you, we could stir it up. Little darling, stir it up. Come on and stir it up. Little darling, stir it up. I'll push the wood, I'll blaze the fire, then I'll satisfy your heart desire. Said I steer it, yeah. Every minute, yeah. All you've got to do, honey, keep it here and steer it up. Little darling, steer it up. Come on and steer it up. Little darling, steer it up. Quench me while I'm thirsty. Come on, cool me down, honey, while I'm hot. Your recipe, darling, is so tasty, and you sure can steer your pot, so steer it up. Little darling, steer it up. Steer it up. Little darling, steer it up.
Get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up,
Don't give up the fight.
get up, stand up for your rights.
Miss up, get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know what life is really worth. It's not all that glitter is gold. Half the story had never been told, and now you see the light. You stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. You get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Most people think great God will come from the sky, take away everything, make everybody feel high. But if you know what life is worth, you would look for yours on earth. And now you see the light. You stand up for your right. So get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. You get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. We're sick and tired of the hism schism. Up then and go to heaven in the hism schism. We know and we understand Almighty God is a living man, and you can fool some people sometime, but you can't fool all the people all the time. And now you see the light. What you gonna do? Stand up for your right. Did you hear? Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. You get up, stand up. You stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. 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 'cause I never give up the fight. We're sick and tired of dying and go to heaven in. We know and we understand Almighty God is a living man, and you can fool some people sometime, but you can't fool all the people all the time. Now you see the light. Stand up for your right. Why-yo, why-yo, yo-yo. Why-yo, why-yo, why-yo. Don't give up the fight. 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 'Cause I never 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 give up the fight. So children, don't give up the. Don't give up the fight. Don't give up the fight. Don't give up the fight. Say it again. Most people think red God will come from the sky, take away everything, make everybody feel high. But if you know what life is worth, you would look for yours on earth. Now you see the light. Stand up for your right. Yeah. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. You get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. You get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. 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 'Cause I never 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 give up the fight. Why-yo, why-yo, yo, yo, yo. 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 Why-yo.
The Bob Marley Special was executive produced by Gary Perkins and Rick Brown. Produced by Bill Phelps for Avalon Video Productions.
Yeah, Bob Marley, don't give up the fight. We're here for Bob. Come on. Yeah! Lieutenant Judy. We have Tyrone on keyboards. Al on guitar. Family Man on bass. Playing on sax. David on trumpet. Brother Carly on drums. Wire on organ. Kevin on congas. Steve on percussion. And my name is
'Cause until the philosophy which old one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Well, everywhere is war. It's a war. And until there's no longer first class nor second class citizens of any nation, until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance to the color of his eyes, I've got to say war. And until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to all without regard to race, this is a war. 'Cause until that day, the dream of lasting peace, world citizenship, and the rule of international morality, yeah, will remaining but a fleeting illusion to be pursued, but never attained. Well, everywhere is war. This is a war. War in the east, war in the west, war up north, war down south. Yes, this is a war, a war. Oh, rumors of war. Yes, this is a war, a war. Oh, rumors of war. And until the ignoble and unhappy regime that hold our brothers in South Africa, anywhere on the part of the earth, in subhuman bondage, has been toppled, utterly destroyed. Well, everywhere is war, everywhere is war. War, everywhere is war. Order. War, everywhere is war. 'Cause until the day the African continent will not know peace, we Africans will fight, we find it necessary. We know we shall win. We are confident in the victory, yeah, of good over evil, of good over evil, of good over evil. Well, everywhere is war. 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 Some crying, some dying, some winning, some losing, singing without. No more trouble. We don't need. Oh no, 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 no. No more trouble. Tell you what we need is love to guide and protect us on. If you're up, look down from above. Help the weak if you are strong. We don't
Need no trouble.
Oh no, 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 no. What we need is love. We don't need. Oh no, 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 no. No more trouble. No more troubles. We don't. Oh no, 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 no. No more trouble. No more war. No more war. Hey. Speak happiness.
Sad enough without your woes.
Oh, children, come on and speak of love. Sad enough without your foes. Nothing could stop us now. We neither beg, now we won't bow. Neither can be bought nor sold. We all defend the right. Jah children must unite. Life is worth much more than gold. Ooh, yeah, we're jamming. And we're jamming in the name of the Lord. We're jamming. We're jamming. And we're jamming right straight from yon. We're shaking. Holy Mount Zion. Holy Mount Zion. Yeah! His foundation is in the whole of mountains. Jah loveth the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things have been spoken of the O city of God. I'll make mention to Rahab and Babylon to them that know I. With the old Philistine Tyre, with Ethiopia, it shall be said that this man was born there. And the highest himself shall establish the earth. Jah Rastafari.
His fiery chant honored the holiness of Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia. Bob Marley, the third world's first international superstar, spread the music of reggae throughout the world, and with it, the revelations of his mystical Rastafarian faith. His songs were all parables, messages of faith and warning.
Say, men and people will fight you down when you see Jah light. Let me tell you, if you're not wrong, where everything is all right. So we're gonna walk through the roads of creation. We the generation tried through great tribulation in this exodus. Ooh, yeah. Movement of the people.
Bob's cry of exodus was a siren anthem to all the worlds down-pressed to leave the wickedness of Babylon and make the march back to the Holy Land of Ethiopia.
Of the people. Yeah, 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 yeah. Just come to break down oppression, rule equality, wipe away transgression. Set the captives free. Set the captives free. Set the captives free.
I think Bob Marley's message is toward universal peace, which I think is very good.
It's so positive. It's about the most positive spiritual force on this planet, as far as I'm concerned.
It's bringing a lot of people together, keeping us together, which is what we need right now.
As Bob finished off a blistering set, he carried a secret he chose not to share with the world. Bob Marley had cancer. The fiery tough gong, who as a kid conquered the slums of West Kingston and led the Wailers to worldwide glory, was now almost 35. Said to be gifted at prophecy since childhood, Bob predicted he would die at 36. Now listen to Bob's prophecies and messages, recorded in America in 1979 and stored in a vault until now.
Mr. Marley, in November 1930, almost 49 years ago to the day, Rastafari was crowned King of Kings, Lord of Lords, the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. Haile Selassie, King of Ethiopia. In 1955, 25 years later, the emperor set aside 500 acres of land for black peoples of the West who wished to return to the motherland. Now my question is, what importance should these facts have for black people of the world?
What important facts is these things that black people know?
Yes.
First fact is that them are planning in Africa, right? Next fact is that Christ. Now the whole thing is when Christ then will return as the King of Kings, the Lords of Lords, the conquering Lion of Judah. I see His Majesty as the Christ of the Bible talks about.
Bob always performed with the banner of the emperor behind him. Before Selassie was crowned emperor, he was called Ras, or Prince Tafari, hence the name of the Rastafarian faith.
The Rastafari movement started at the same time when you see His Majesty crowned King of Kings, the name Rastafari.
Yes.
That's when the Bible revealed him and the whole thing hit together.
Yes.
So that is when the Rastafari movement.
Africa, unite, 'cause we're moving right out of Babylon, and we're grooving to our father's land. How good and how pleasant it would be before God and man to see the unification of all Rastaman. As it's been said already, let it be done. We are the children of the Rastaman. We are the children of the I am one. So, Africa, unite. Africa, unite, yeah. Unite for the benefit of our people. 'Cause we're moving right out of Babylon, and we're grooving to our father's land.
The father's land was Ethiopia, ruled by Selassie in an unbroken line of kings that stretched back 3,000 years to the time of Solomon and Sheba.
Unification of all Africans. Marcus Garvey said it, so let it be done. I know you know who you are under the sun. We are the children of the Rastaman. We are the children of the
The foundations of Rastafarianism were established in the teachings of Marcus Garvey, the Jamaican firebrand who started the influential Back to Africa movement in the early 1900s. In Psalm 68, Garvey found a sign. Princes shall come out of Egypt. Ethiopia shall soon stretch out her hands unto God.
Yeah, Marcus Garvey. So we must look to the king, look for a king in the east. Black king. 1930, His Majesty crowned. And I cite him because that's when Marcus Garvey always deal with Africa. So, you know, it's just the truth, you know. You see, the wrong thing about it is that Christ, him come from Africa, and him always born July. You know, Christ is always a lion. Everyone who sit on the throne like King David have to be a lion. Judah.
July was the sign of Judah, the lion. Rastafarians believe Christ was born in July, as was Selassie, the lion of all lions.
Africa, you're my forefather cornerstone. Unite for the Africans abroad. Unite for the Africans abroad. Africa, unite. Africa, unite.
See, Rome fight it, you know. Rome just fight Ethiopia to set up Rome. So Rome become a symbol in everyone's imagination, in a sense, instead of Ethiopia. In Addis Ababa, which part the reality, not the follow, the real thing come from before men get idea so things like this could happen. You know, that's where the root had come from.
Garvey electrified huge crowds in Harlem, New York, with his cry, "One God, one aim, one destiny. Ethiopia, land of our fathers." But it wasn't long before American blacks began turning away.
He came, he lost his culture, his identity, everything. He became a slave. He grew into freedom. Now, the white person has always been living his normal life, his normal growth ever since, right? The black man now getting his freedom, he's trying so hard to balance with the white man. He's trying to prove that he's just as good, he's just as he's all that. So he's looking so far away from Rasta in the opposite direction, right? No, the white people now, they have already experienced middle class, this middle class, that. So they know what's happening in the world. So they have time to really go and check out the Rasta saying. They can really, they see it a lot more, to me, a lot more white people have understood or been attracted to Rasta than blacks in America, you know?
But Garvey's roots message quickly took hold in Jamaica. It spread throughout the lush countryside and even came to 9 Miles, a northern hamlet set amongst Eden-like beauty and desperate poverty. It was there, on February the 6th, 1945, that Robert Nesta Marley was born. His father, an English army captain, abandoned him shortly after his birth, and he was raised on a small farm by his mother, Sedella, and grandfather, Omariah. At the age of 7, Bob was sent to West Kingston to obtain a grade school education, and there, in the teeming slums, Bob discovered music, becoming part of the ska craze in the early 60s. He formed a vocal group with Bunny Livingston and Peter Tosh, calling them the Wailers, because, he said, they were all born crying. Proudly displayed at all his performances were banners that reflected the 3 fundamental symbols of Bob's Rasta faith: Garvey, Selassie, and the flag of Ethiopia. On stage, one could always see the colors of the Rasta movement: green for the color of the land, black for the skin of its people, red for the blood they had shed, and gold for the sun overhead. And always at the center, the Lion of Judah, defiant and unconquerable.
Every man think that his burden is the heaviest. Heaviest. Every man think that his burden is the heaviest. Heaviest. But I still
Africa must unite, you know. The only place in Africa that never been colonized is Ethiopia, ever since. So if Africa going to unite, then we have to unite towards His Majesty, you know, that ideology where His Majesty has. So the whole thing I and I deal with is to show the people the truth.
feel it in the one drop, and we still find time to rob. We're making a one-stop. The generation gap, so feel this drum beat as it beats within, playing a rhythm, resisting against the system, singing, I know Jah never let us down. Pull your rights from wrong.
It's the first natural way of living before man take power to himself, you know. Rasta way. Before man join anything. Free heart, Rasta, you know.
They made their world so hard. Every day, the people are dying. Dread for hunger and starvation. Lamentation. But read it in Revelation. You'd find your redemption. Come on, give us the teachings of His Majesty. We no want.
In 1964, Garvey died and was accorded a hero's funeral in Kingston. His followers, the Garveyites, walked behind his casket, which was topped by a black star, the symbol of his movement. His legacy, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, lived on.
We're making a one-stop, and we fill it the gap, so feel this drum beat as it beats with it, blinding a rhythm, fighting against ism and schism, singing. Shall never let us down. I know, Jah would never let us down. I know Jah would never let.
In 1966, Jamaica witnessed the arrival of Haile Selassie. Garvey's prophecy of a black king now seemed made flesh before the eyes of all Jamaicans.
Every day they made their work so hard.
The right thing upon earth is Rastafari. That means regardless which rights a man have, if him not dealing with Rastafari, will reveal himself, because when Christ same shall return as the King of Kings.
Our frighten them, our frighten them, come on. Give us the teachings of His Majesty, so stick up. We no one, no devil, philosophy, can you hear? Give us the teachings of His Majesty. We no want no harder ideology.
As he drove by, Rita, Bob's wife, swore she saw the stigmata, or sign of the crucifixion, on Selassie's hand. Like many of his countrymen, Bob became convinced Selassie was Christ come again as Jesus.
Like that much, I want to see it as signs of the time and judgment. But I know the only thing is Rastafari, because, you know, God no make mistake. And when him say I come as the King of Kings, no guy can come that way. It's him come, so. You know, so that is how I view them things.
After Selassie left, the Rastafarian influence spread rapidly. In defiance of the baldheads, or non-believers, Rastas grew their hair into dreadlocks. For Bob, his dreadlocks were a declaration of his faith. Dread meant dreadful, as in fear and praise of the Almighty, as ordered in Leviticus 21, verse 5. They shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh.
Rasta going to die tomorrow. Every Rasta man deal with life forever, in this time. See? So, then Moses and the man laid down the rules. When you take a vow to be a Nazareth, you must make the locks of your hair grow. Now we dreadlocks, all your dreadlocks now, it keep it to yourself. In a sense, if it was a trim and shave, maybe you'd end up in a pure nightclub at night time and you kind of accept it amongst the wicked. So when you dread now, you kind of have a confidence to stay and don't get corrupt, because it's not everywhere you go, people gonna like it. So you're conscious of that, so you stay within yourself. And when it's God you deal with, regardless of what men and people want to say.
Rise up, falling fighters. Rise and take your stance again. He who fights and run away, live to fight another day. At the heathen that day, shut up with the heathen that day. At the heathen back again, on the wall of the heathen that day. As a man, so shall he reap, and I know that talk is cheap. Hotter the battle, come a sweeter to victory. How do you get that day? On the wall of the heathen. How do you get that day? On the wall of the heathen.
Bob and the Rasta elders prophesied that Jesus would come again, but in another name.
Because everything God say is truth. Him say seek him first, and everything shall be added. You know? Some people are searching for Jesus, but Jesus don't come again. Jesus will tell us him I come in a new name. And so him couldn't come again as Jesus. So at the time when him come as Rastafari. No, God no partial.
Rise, oh, rise, oh, rise, oh, rise, oh. Rise and take the stance again. Is he who fight and run away? Live to fight another day.
He was convinced that the powers of the West were deceived by looking for the Redeemer in the name of Jesus.
Pope call him so, the Queen call him so, everyone call him so. Some say don't want that name. Name Rastafari. Which, when I'm saying new name come, it shall be dreadful and terrible among the heathen. So the beauty about it now is that all people must hear of Rastafari and the truth must go to them.
The Rastas believed the heathen tried to oppress the true soldiers of Jah, but in the final battle, these fallen fighters would see the triumph of their victory.
Ooh, yeah, we're jamming. I wanna jam it with you. We're jamming, we're jamming. So I hope you are jamming tonight. Ain't no rules, ain't no vow. You can jam it anyhow. I and I will see you through. Cause every day we pay the price. We're the living sacrifice. Jamming till the jam gets through. Ooh, yeah, we're jamming. To think of jamming was a thing of the past. We're jamming, we're jamming. And I hope this jam is gonna last. No bullet could stop us now, we need a bed, now we won't bow. Neither can be bought nor sold. We all defend the right, Jah children must unite. Life is worth much more than gold.
By 1974, Bob had to deal with disunity within his own band. Two of the original Wailers, bass singer Peter Tosh and boyhood friend Bunny Livingston, quit the group. Putting together a powerful new lineup featuring the I-Threes, a female vocal trio that included his wife Rita, Bob and the Wailers blistered through the stadiums and concert halls of Europe. His revolutionary sound won admirers throughout the continent, but his journeys exposed him to the great differences between his own people and those in the West.
You know, people deal with God. That means they want God. That means God reveal himself. Him so kindness, him give land and tell the people in the West and care. So, you know, it shouldn't be really no obstacle again. The whole thing is Rastafari is the roots of our life. You know? And that is why I'm communicating with people, make them know say, you're welcome, you know what I mean? This is the land. Like him give them Africa, show them say this is your land. The people in the West.
The competitive materialism Bob witnessed on his tours further convinced him of the need of his people to return to their African roots.
When you check the West, you know, you can't say like the West overbuilt, you know. I tell you, it overbuilt. Because when a man have a 90-story high, that means we can have a land to spread out, right? And see Africa, as far as you can look, it's pure land. That means when I see the people suffering in the West, especially the black people, I say it really looks silly. It's really foolish. Because what does the West have for more than some music? I mean, the today music. That's all I'm going on here, you know. Today music. Because I don't see anything else. Saying, and when you're looking at Africa now, Africa does stay a wait. For those who really know how to develop and know, say, it's not themselves them I deal with now, like a man only I deal with to just feed himself. It's a people, survival of a whole nation of people, black people. Because we scatter, you know.
But back in Jamaica, not everybody embraced the teachings of His Majesty, and in Kingston and throughout the island, civil war raged between rival political factions. And now that Bob had become an international celebrity, politicians sought to use him as a pawn in their power struggles.
Well, you know, you see, God is good, you know. So when man try to turn God and become a devil, God is God already. So it's when a man try to become God and become a devil, and I fight against God. So wickedness is not the will of God, man. It's the will of men. The devil do them things. Because if you follow the ways of God, everything is righteous. Man destroying himself.
When Marley returned to his Kingston home, hustlers, gangsters and politicians crowded out the true Rastas. On the night of November the 25th, 1976, assassins crept into his Hope Street mansion and opened fire. Bob, along with Rita and his manager Don Taylor, were among those hit.
Trying to belittle our activity now.
The headlines rocked the world, but miraculously all three survived.
It's just what they teach us.
Bob believed he had been protected by the power of His Majesty. He felt an even closer bond with Selassie when soon after the shooting, the Emperor's son gave him Selassie's black jeweled ring. It became Bob's most prized possession, which he felt gave him mystical power. Meanwhile, one by one, those who had sought his death were tracked down and killed. Throughout the Caribbean, Bob's people knew, verse by verse, the legend of Ham, one of Noah's 3 sons. In Genesis, chapter 9, it is said, "And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his 2 brethren without." It was believed that Ham's first brother, Japheth, started the white race in Europe, his second, Shem, fathered the peoples of Asia, and Ham brought his curse to all his descendants in Africa.
Ham get a curse. Ham must come and cleanse himself of the curse. So when him see a chance to get back his birthright, which is his land, Mother Africa, Mother Ethiopia, Father Ethiopia, anything, then he must have to decide whether he's going to stay and go down with Babylon or he's going to go home. Because Babylon must fall. Yeah, because the Bible says Israel was once a solid, unified nation, and then they started to intermarry and do all kind of things, worship false gods. So also Ham, which is one of the sons of Noah, which is supposed to be the black man, laughed at his father's nakedness when his father was asleep and drunk, and God put a curse on Ham, which is the curse that we have been experiencing for all these years. So it's up to us now to lift ourselves out of the gutter. You know, who want to stay still, but who want to come out. Man was born as man. Man is just man. So man evolved into whatever. man grew, man was one man. Then God said, well, how we going to make the procreate? So he make a next man, but a different kind of man, and call it woman, which is from man. So the two of them must come together now to carry on the life of man. So them procreate and more people come with different minds because there's one mind. But the devil want try and do anything what God can do, so make more mind. So you have different minds. So Ham, Shem and Japheth are three different minds, three different people. Ham get the curse.
Africa, unite, 'cause we're moving right out of Babylon, and we're grooving to our father's land.
Bob warned that no matter how hard the black man tried, he could never escape his fate. Ham's punishment was to serve his two brothers, and that was why the black man has been in service ever since.
Rastaman.
Yeah, because the curse, it states in the Bible that the curse said, you shall serve Shem and Japheth, you shall be their servants. I mean, who serving who?
Rastaman. We are the children of the I am one.
Well, Africa is not an African word, you know. There's no such word in any African language as Africa. So therefore, you know, Ethiopia, you don't say Africa in the Bible. Ethiopia, the whole Africa was once Ethiopia, but them come and call it Buchanan, Mozambique, Angola, just Africa.
Pleasant it would be before God and man to see the unification of all Africans. Marcus Garvey said it, so let it be done. I know you know who you are.
In 1978, Bob courageously brought the people of Jamaica together with the One Love Peace concert. He joined hands with politicians and demanded peace. The civil war between his people had to end. Later, in the serenity of his beloved countryside, Bob meditated and came to the realization that all races could come together if only they would turn to Jah.
Rastafari, the roots. Roots. Rastafari, the root. Rastafari, a God, you know. See, you know, there's God for one people in it still. My God for all people. See? My God for all people. So, this is the struggle we have now. Because God not partial. God black. See? God black. And him not partial. And I'm a God for the China man. And I'm a God for the Indian. And I'm a God for the white man. And I'm a God for the black man.
The teachings of Vernon Carrington, or Gadmon as he was commonly known, increasingly influenced Rasta thinking. As leader of the influential 12 Tribes of Israel sect, he taught that the human race had been divided into 12 tribes, and that from these, the chosen 144,000 would be saved on the Day of Judgment.
I'm telling you how to do it too. Say it's 12 tribes. Show you it's easy, it's 12 months. 12,000, it's easy. 12,000 from every month. You get 144,000. I deal with the one thing. It's all over. God power come from earth and everything finished. At one time we never know these things, but we're glad we know them today. So you can see everything really come near and near. And what we are saying, it's always not the Bible, it's not something new, it's something not the Bible.
Gadman also told of how the white man had rewritten the Bible to fit his own beliefs, such as replacing the Egyptian calendar with that of the Romans.
And so God not partial because the Bible You could have said King James edit one of them, the King James version. But the truth remains the same. It might kind of change it. Like he wouldn't put the 12 months straight, he put January and put December next. So, you know what I mean, you couldn't really know. You have to know it's April, May, June. You know, tricky. We have to study to find out. Well, here goes a man who studied named Gad Man from Jamaica.
Even though Selassie was assassinated in a bloody coup in 1974, Bob and all Rastas were convinced that he still lived on. To them, Selassie was God, and no man could kill God.
No, Haile Selassie can never die. See, Haile Selassie can't die. The man who create life can't die. Because, you know, it's just truth. It's Christ him come as the King of Kings, you know. So no guy can overthrow him.
Bob also believed that one day Selassie would rule the earth and shine the light of truth to all those who would turn to him.
That's the idea, you know. That's the idea. Be not afraid, because Christ's government shall rule the earth. You know, Christ's government shall rule the earth. That means, as I did the repatriation for going to Africa, for store our father roots. Because it's not hold it. Because even in Ethiopia, you know, a man lives so near to his majesty that him them see him as who him is. Him broke him down to like a man.
Every man got the right to decide his own destiny. And in this judgment there is no partiality. So arm in arms with arms, we'll fight this little struggle, yes. 'Cause that's the only way we can overcome our little trouble. Brother, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're so right. We gon' fight, we gonna fight, we'll have to fight, fighting for our rights. Mash it up in a Zimbabwe, set it up in a Zimbabwe. Africans are liberate Zimbabwe. I liberate Zimbabwe. No more internal.
By 1980, the cancer had spread from Bob's injured foot to the rest of his body. He knew his time on Earth was coming to a close. So when he was invited to perform at the Independence Day ceremonies in Zimbabwe, in the heart of Africa, he eagerly accepted. Bob felt he had returned to his spiritual homeland. Like all Rastas, he believed that all Africans had once been united as Ethiopians.
That means, it really means again that the people have to unite with His Majesty, forget Africa, to name Ethiopia again. As easy as that. Because when they name Ethiopia, man start coming and capture. And with them capture, them just capture, unite them capture and call it Africa. But whenever capture, still name Ethiopia, that means it's like a man have your herb, you know, when I take it away. But what you leave with is it name herb still, you know? And him can just take this and call it something else.
There beats a heart, so soon we'll find out who is the real revolutionaries. I don't want my people to be tricked by mercenaries. Brother, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're so right. We gonna fight, we'll have to fight, we gonna fight.
So the only way Africa can name Ethiopia again is that the Africans have to unite for the Ethiopia. The ways of His Majesty, not the ways of the Russian, nor the American. No socialism, no communism, no capitalism. African, you know. Christ. This a God come from, you know. A God we are dealing with, you know. Sometimes, you know, people broke it down like a man. But our God, it's really everything we really sit down and discuss God. You know? Because it's God. Rastafari.
As Bob neared his time of destiny with His Imperial Majesty, he prophesied of a coming Armageddon between the forces of capitalism and communism.
Right, you know, what caused the problem now is because it's two different powers, right? Well, none of them don't have no power. The power belongs unto His Majesty, who is God. So what they must do now, acknowledge the truth and know says God ways for run everywhere and deal with this in that way. It can be done in a different way because even if a man even fight with him outside, he won't fight the next time again. So it better be the last Armageddon, which is the last Armageddon. This is the Armageddon. Because the consciousness, every man must fight for consciousness this trip. It's not it's not really boxing. The people who invent capitalism, them dead from in the 16th century, but the capitalism still around the place. The guy who invent communism, him dead from the 17th century with cancer and all them thing there. And the main thing is that everyone a fight about.